I'm only seeing myself. Is there some reason for that? Is that something I'm doing wrong?
If you click up at the top next to your the minimize button at the top right, you see view. If you click on that, it should say speaker gallery, speaker or gallery. Just click gallery. It should show
Okay.
everybody.
There we go. Great. Thanks.
Yep.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the City of Annapolis Board of Appeals special virtual meeting for November 19th. Is it today the 19th already? Gosh. Oh, man. 2025. This meeting is being broadcast on the City of Annapolis YouTube channel. The agenda for tonight's meeting may be found on the City of Annapolis website. The agenda has a lot of other helpful information, including the links to the YouTube channel, the links to the comment form for anyone who wants to be heard on a particular case, and to the city's database for information about the cases coming before the board tonight. Before we start, let me remind everyone about the City of Annapolis Code prohibits anyone from contacting any member of the board about any case before the board. The two exceptions are by parties to a case, and they have to contact the board through Kim Consoli, the liaison with the Department of Planning and Zoning. Anyone who's not a party to the case who wants to be heard by the board has to submit their comments on the comment form on the city's website. So with that, Kim, would you like to call the roll?
Mr. Gallagher,
Yes.
Mr. Zazali,
Yes.
and Mr. Ramsden.
Yes.
Mr.
All
Chairman,
right.
that's all that we are expecting tonight, 3 members.
And that's a quorum, so we'll move forward. Have the members of the board had a chance to review the agenda for tonight's meeting? Are there any corrections or additions?
Hearing none. Move to accept.
Seconded.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. I think we have, do we have any minutes, Kim? Kim, do we have minutes for October 15th? Kim is busy. Kim,
Sorry,
let us,
so I was trying to talk with our tech staff.
Yeah.
What was the question?
do we have minutes, draft minutes for October 15th?
We do.
Okay. I know I've read them and they look fine to me. Any corrections or additions to the minutes for October 15th? Is there a motion to approve minutes?
So moved.
Motion. Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right, thanks.
Aye.
Okay, so first up, we've got an extension request on variance 2024-01. The second request for an extension of variance of approval for a property located at 5 Tyler Place. Kim Burke, is that yours?
Yeah, it is. I thought Tobias might be here if he wanted to say anything. Is he on?
I do not see him in the attendees.
Okay, well, they have been working. I know they did tweak some of their house. And I think he says, I'm requesting our second extension. We ran into a multi-month backup waiting for BGE to cut the utilities, the last of which just got disconnected. Yesterday, that was October 7th. This is just the first time it's been on the agenda for the extension. So they are literally days away from this building permit. They have been working through everything. So this is just utilities and delays like that. It's not them not trying.
And their request was timely filed.
Yes, it was.
Have there been any significant changes in the rules or regulations relating to this project since they were approved?
No.
Okay. All right, questions from the board?
Nope.
None for me.
Is there a motion to approve the extension?
Go ahead, Glenn. Oh, yeah.
Motion to approve the extension of the variance request.
For a
Second.
second? Thank you, Christian. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. So we'll move on to variance 2025-011. Variance application by Jonathan and Aaron McCopp, property owners, for reduction to the required through lot setback for an accessory structure from 30 feet to 6 feet to allow the construction of an ADU at 1309 Poplar Avenue. Kim, would you like to tell us about that one?
Yeah, so this is, sorry, I thought we were doing the other one first. This is the applicant wishes to construct an ADU in technically the rear of their existing house, but it's a through lot. So when you have a through lot, which means your lot fronts to city streets, your accessory structure setback goes to 30 feet. So they are asking forgiveness of the 30 feet. They would like to put the house 6 feet from the property line, or I'm sorry, the accessory dwelling unit, 6 feet from the property line, and the city thinks that the structure, based on the current streetscape, should be placed back at 15 feet. For many reasons, because of the height. So it's a two-car garage with an accessory structure above it, which we see a lot of, throughout the communities. We do a lot of these. We do a lot of two-story accessory structures. This one is a lot taller than the average one. It's probably one of the tallest ones we have done. So the reason that the city feels 15 feet is a good setback is because if this were not a through lot and just a rear yard with no through lot, because of the height, the setback would go to 15 feet. There's a lot of factors. I know that they're going to give you a presentation. They're removing 12 trees with this project, which the arborist is okay with. They're going to work through the mitigation with that. I know that one of their issues was they're wanting to preserve one of the trees in their rear yard. That tree, based on the limited disturbance and the proposed grading with the plan, the proposed grading with the updated plan that I sent you is right through the critical root zone of that. So moving the house back 15 feet isn't going to affect the critical area, the critical root zone of more than it does now with the current location. In the rear of the yard that faces Maple, which is where they want to put the accessory structure, there's also power lines. I'm not sure BG&E is going to allow a structure of that height so close to the power lines that are crossing the rear of the property. The other issue is, there's different codes for accessory buildings. I haven't done the math on this, but no detached accessory structure or building can occupy more than 50% of the area of any required yard. Being that close to the rear, to that property line, will probably put that at 50%. So the city is super supportive of ADUs. Like I said, we see them a lot. We see a lot of the two-story structures. We just think it should be further back. There is no other accessory structure on this street, on this section of Maple. There are numerous, if you keep going down different blocks of Maple, non-conforming one-story garages. There are 1.5-story homes on other blocks that front Maple that are not as close to the property and are much smaller and less, or not as tall as this one. So the city is supportive of this, but thinks that it needs to be stepped back, or the massing of it is too big that close to the road, because it's going to be based on the height that they submitted, 28.5 feet tall. And there's not a lot of the houses in the neighborhood are 28.5 foot tall, let alone ones that front Maple. There is a house next to the rear yard that fronts the side street, and the side of that house is not even that's only 27 feet tall. So we're suggesting pretty much to align this accessory structure with the side of that house.
Have the notice and posting requirements been satisfied?
Yes.
And there any public comments other than the ones you've already forwarded to us?
All the comments that I forwarded to you made the 12 p.m. deadline today.
Okay. All right, would the applicants like to be heard?
Yes, we would.
Who is going to speak for the applicants?
I'll start first. My name is Erin McCobb.
All right, Aaron McCupp. Do you affirm that the evidence you give tonight, subject to the penalties of perjury, will be true to the best of your knowledge?
Yes,
Okay. We received about 1 o'clock this afternoon a very nice long presentation about your case here. And I haven't had a chance to go through it. I don't know if my colleagues have or not. But
I would like to walk you through it if you'll allow me to.
well, I'm sure you would, but we have rules, and our rules require that this information be provided a week in advance, because we believe that we can absorb and evaluate the information much better when we have a chance to do so without having to do it on the spot.
I was not notified of those rules, and I did send a copy of this presentation
Yeah.
6 days ago. And then once I received the city's report, we updated this. We only received the city's report yesterday.
All right. Well, that's kind of at odds with our rules too, because I think our rules require that the city submit its recommendation 2 weeks in advance. I mean, usually we try to accommodate and move ahead, but this is an extensive presentation, and beyond having a number of other things on the agenda tonight that we need to get to. I just don't think it's fair to expect the board to digest all this, hearing it for the first time. But let me hear from my colleagues, Mr. Zazali, Mr. Ramsey. You might be able to tell I'm leaning toward continuing this till our next meeting. What's your reaction?
Well, my reaction is really twofold. I would certainly like to give the applicant the full benefit of my undivided attention on all the facts, and that may mean reading this application here a little more thoroughly. But stronger preference is that an applicant and the city would come to us having reached an agreement for us to hear the facts on and to make a determination if that agreement is supported by the facts. I don't relish the idea of playing the jury between a city resident and our city planning department. So if we are going to defer this presentation, I would also encourage the applicant and the city to use that time to try to strike a balance before coming back a second time.
May I speak?
Let me hear from Mr. Ramsden first.
I'm 100% available, to hear the applicant. My personal view is, I'm sort of at their disposal. And I'm happy to allocate whatever time they may need to present the application with Mr. So I did have an opportunity, though. I'll caveat this. I did have an opportunity to review their presentation this afternoon. I thought it was excellent, and like Christian was just saying, he wants to give them the benefit of his undivided attention to, you know, review these facts and circumstances, because there are several complex elements to this. I think the applicant makes a very strong case, and I will say it does, Christian, feel like the Department of Planning and Zoning and applicant have done their best to resolve the differences, and the applicant is saying, understood, this is what I'm still asking for. And so I don't know if an additional month, or a continuation, would actually result in additional illumination of that point. So I am I'm happy to you know, obviously we'll be at the direction of the chair, but I'm totally available to hear them out if they'd like to, if the chairman makes a determination that it's appropriate.
Right. All right. Ms. McCobb, you have the floor
Okay,
on
thank you.
on this point.
Okay. To be clear, you would like me to proceed with the presentation or to respond to,
If you want to
Mr.
respond, this
Zazal?
is your chance to respond.
Yeah. Yes, I would just like to say that we did attempt to work with planning and zoning. My husband Jonathan made an appointment to meet with them. I unfortunately was traveling for work. We've explained these details to them many times. I feel that this was scheduled. We took time out of our calendar to be here. And, we've been waiting for this day for a long time. And so I would appreciate if we can be heard.
Okay, certainly you can be heard. I'm going to give you a choice. You can be heard without reference to your updated presentation based on what you submitted earlier to the Department of Planning and Zoning, because that's what they made their recommendation on. Or we can postpone to the next available meeting, which I think would be early December, where you can go through your updated presentation. So it's up to you.
I guess I'm unsure and unclear what you mean. So I submitted the application months ago, and this was the first time, I suppose, because of the rules that we were allowed to meet with you. And it was my understanding that at this meeting was the time that I was to present this information. So I'm not quite sure what you mean.
Our rules, had you read them, are designed to avoid dumping all the information on the board at the last minute. We expect you to make your full case to the Department of Planning and Zoning, and them to forward that on to us with their recommendation. As far as I know, they've done that, except for your updated presentation that we just got this afternoon.
Jonathan, do you have?
Well, might I suggest that perhaps you postpone deliberations until the December meeting, and perhaps we can walk you through it today?
No, we're not going to do that. We don't need to be. We probably don't need much walking if we have the chance to read it and digest it, as Mr. Ramsden probably has done, but Mr. Zazali and I have not.
I guess I have a few other questions. We have several folks on the line scheduled to testify in support. And I'd really like an opportunity to share.
You have a choice.
What are the downsides to sharing today?
We don't get to show the presentation.
Nobody said that to us before today. I asked Kim Consoli if I was to be allowed to show this presentation today, and she said yes.
She doesn't make decisions for the board.
Okay. Well, I think we have to postpone it then.
Okay.
I think it's really critical that we show the presentation and its contents, and if we're not allowed to do that today, then I think we have to wait.
I think that's a good decision. Kim, can we get them on December, the first December meeting?
I'm sorry. Which Kim are you addressing, sir?
Can we reschedule 1309 Poplar to our regular December meeting?
I'm sure we can. I was just trying to pull up that agenda and see what else is already on it. But if you want to continue it, I'm sure that we can make room.
There's two things on the agenda. There's there's an ADU, another ADU, which is in the R2NC, a special exception. And there is a side yard setback variance. That's all so far.
Well, Kim Burke, based on your experience, do they look like they're gonna take extensive hearing time?
Yeah, the other two are gonna go pretty quickly.
Okay,
102, it's 102 Eastern Avenue. They might have some public wanting to speak too. So
Okay.
they're probably, you could probably get both of them because the other one won't take that long.
okay. All right, well then,
Bob, I'd also encourage, if you have folks that want to testify on your behalf, it's always encouraged to have them do so in writing. We will get it and we will read it.
yeah, look at our rules, please. Rule 7 in particular tells you that you need to identify your exhibits and summarize your witnesses. That will make the whole thing go much more smoothly.
Okay, thank you. So if this is postponed, does that mean that the comment period is reopened?
Yeah, people can always comment up until 12 on the day of the hearing.
So, okay. So Kim Burke, will you include any additional comments that you said you received after the 12 p.m. deadline today? I had several neighbors who thought that
I think we've only received 1 or 2 after 1 p.m. today, but we can add them, yes. And we only had one person actually, which was the alderman, say that he wanted to deliver live testimony.
Okay.
Okay.
So this will be continued until the December meeting. We can put it first on the agenda.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Well, for Kim Burke and Kim Consoli and Mike Meekins, if you're still on there, just a reminder that we do have these rules. In most cases, we don't get sticklish about them, but when we get a long report like that has a lot of information in it, it's just not fair to expect the board to digest it in a couple of hours before the meeting.
Understood. I just felt like I should forward it to you because it came
Yep.
today.
Okay, so let's move on to the next one. That would be variance 2025-012, 11 Taney Avenue.
That's me.
Yeah, application by Sheila Stark for reduction to the required 8-foot side yard setback to
Bob, is that
2.3.
just point of order? Is that 00011?
I had a typo on my staff report.
Oh.
It's 1, 2. Sorry,
Alright.
I have so
Yep.
many of these.
No problem. Just want to be clear. Thank you.
For reduction of the required 8-foot side yard setback.
It's 5 feet. My staff report says 5.
All right. Required 5-foot setback to 2.3,
Yes,
and the required 5-foot rear yard setback is
to
also-
0.2. Yes.
Okay, they're both for 5 feet.
Yes, because it's in the rear 25% of the lot.
For construction of a new 1-story carport on the existing footprint of the garage.
Correct.
Okay, Kim, tell us what we need to know about this one.
So this, as we just discussed, they have an existing dilapidated 1-car garage. It's been there a very long time. They are looking to replace the garage, single story, to another single story carport, car garage, on the same footprint. This lot's kind of unique. It has a shared driveway with the neighbor. And based on the turning radius to get into the garage and the tightness of the lot, they are putting this new garage on the same footprint as the old one. There's also an easement over the property to allow them and the neighbors the common access easement to allow access to the garages. So moving this garage any other place wouldn't really be feasible, just based on all the existing conditions. They did advertise this. We haven't had any neighborhood comments at all. So as far as planning and zoning is concerned, we consider this like a pretty straightforward. It's not going to be bigger. It's not going to be a 2-story or anything. It's just going to be from a 1-story to a 1-story. It's kind of like a refresh.
Right. Notice and posting have been satisfied.
Yes.
Right. Would the applicants care to be heard? Whoever is trying to talk is on mute.
This is Rick Wittspire, but
There you
I
go.
think that
Hi.
clarifies everything, so there's nothing really to add.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
Just to affirm that the request is the minimum. I heard Kim reference turning radiuses and so on and so forth, but the size of the carport, its proximity to the property lines, they are the minimum relief necessary to physically and practically have a carport back where it was. You can't
Yes.
improve upon the situation. There's no
No.
room for improvement. Otherwise,
Not with the turning radiuses and the easements that are in place.
okay, thank you.
Mr. Ramsden?
None from me. Thank you, sir.
So Kim Burke, there's a mention, I think, of a porch extension that's not involved in this.
No,
variance.
that's shown on there, but because it's so small, it's under our administrative adjustment. That sign's posted right now. That has to be separate from this.
I'm just curious. I mean, it looks like they could accomplish the same thing.
Yeah, but the way our code reads is if it's an administrative adjustment, that's what it has to be. You can't.
No, I'm going back to the garage. Would they
Oh.
needed a variance if they just took 2 walls out of the existing garage and tuned it up?
You just changed one board a day over 300 days.
Yeah, I mean, there's that.
All right, that's fine. So if there's nothing else on this, we'll close the record, mark the exhibits. Are we ready to deliberate?
Sure.
Mr. Zazali, you have the honor as usual.
Yep. I see no reason to delay approval of this application. This is really, our process here is really for on the record review that they actually went through the steps and received the received the appropriate approvals. There's no sane person that would make them do any more hurdles than necessary to replace in kind an existing structure that's been there since the time immemorial.
Mr. Ramsden?
No, I share the same view. It's not so much the granting of a departure from setback standards as it is just the affirmation of the existing non-conforming. So I don't have any additional comment.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been of the view, I think that replacing something essentially in kind, if you can't do that, it's definitely a hardship, and it's the minimum necessary to put it back the way it was. So,
Okay, motion to approve variance 202500012 for the evidence in the staff report and the testimony provided here.
Seconded.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, it's unanimously approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll move on to the next one. Variance 2024-013, 345 Dewey Drive, a variance by applicant Kate Jacobs, the owner, to disturb the critical area buffer, steep slope, and reduction of the waterway yard setback in order to construct a 2nd-story addition above the existing dwelling and garage footprint. Mr. Meekins?
Wait, Bob, I
Yeah.
need to make a disclosure. This house is only about a couple hundred feet from my house on the same side of the street on the same creek. I'm intimately aware of the house. I almost bought it. I didn't. I know the owners. I have no reason to believe that I won't hear the case and judge fairly. I just want to make that disclosure and offer the problem is we only have 3 people here. I will offer that if they don't want me to hear the case, I'm happy to not hear it, but it's their call.
Anyone object to Mr. Zazali continuing to hear the case?
No objection.
All right, we'll move ahead then. Go ahead, Mr. Meekins.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Mike Meekins, Senior Planner and current planning, City of Annapolis Planning and Zoning. Excuse me. This is an existing waterfront property, as Mr. Zazali spoke of, in Admiral Heights. It's a one-story dwelling with basement. It's the house itself predates both zoning and the critical area code. The majority of the house, the existing house now sits within the 100-foot buffer of the critical area. It also sits within the average waterway yard setback. It also has possibly man-made slopes in the front, not the water side, but the street side of the house. And by city code, you cannot disturb those without going through this process. The city, so the proposal is to add a second story to the existing house, add a attached garage with a second story, and relocate the front entryway of the house, which is where the disturbance to the steep slopes and the pocket of the steep slopes and the steep slope buffer are. The city is in support of this, these asks. And just to let you know, the property was posted. Mailings were mailed out in a timely manner, and it was advertised in the paper. And we have received no public comments to date.
Okay. Would the applicant like to be heard on this?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Evans, would you like to identify yourself?
I'm Mark Evans, principal at Drumloik and Associates, the civil engineers that worked on the project with the city and Mr. Jacobs.
Do you affirm, subject to penalties for perjury, that the evidence you give tonight will be true to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right, please go ahead.
So Mr. Jacobs and I and his architect worked hard to design these improvements. The existing house was built in the, from what I understand, in the 1950s, prior to critical area legislation and adoption. The existing waterway yard, which we had to determine the average waterway yard, comes through the middle of the house, as does the existing 100-foot buffer. So any improvements to the main portion of the house would require a variance. The area that is requested as part of the steep slope disturbance, if you have your drawing and you look at the isolated photo that's at the bottom of our main plan view, you can see there's an existing areaway and then a slope up. It's not a walkout because of the areaway, but it's a slope up there. That is the area of disturbance. We have two insets at the bottom of the plan, one in the existing condition that shows the narrow band of steep slopes and the 5-foot buffer required for it in our ordinance. So that is that new entry porch. If we get approval to build the second story addition in the garage, seals off the currently this property has no garage. It basically has a parking pad area, and I'm sorry, this thing has a parking pad area added in front, and so the second story addition and whatnot are over the existing foundation, except for on the roadside part of the property, which that 100-foot buffer and waterway yard go past the main portion of the house into the yard. The existing garage, in addition, goes over top of existing impervious driveway. And we have a small removal of impervious to make sure this site remains the exact impervious area that it had in the existing condition. As we are well aware in my previous meetings with the board, how important stormwater management is. We have a tough site here where we have steep slopes on the waterfront side, tight side yards. We worked with Mike to design a stormwater management design that could capture as much of the existing driveway as we could with a trench drain to try and get some water quality and ESD treatment for the property for the driveway, which comes down slope from Dewey Drive to the property, to get what we felt was a minimum necessary improvement to the house. The steep slopes with this isolated area between the areaway and the driveway, we felt was that little disturbed area was a man-made when the house was built, was the minimum necessary to give them a new front door entry into the house. Provide stormwater management using a trench drain and sheet flowing from the driveway to it. We felt like we were working hard to keep this minimum, but meet the criteria that we know the board likes with projects like this, which could possibly be a building permit. Mr. Meekins has suggested we have to do a grading permit, which we're okay with, to do the stormwater management design, but we know how important that is. And so we worked hard to accommodate that. Thank you.
Okay, questions from the board?
I don't have any this time.
I apologize, Mr. Jacobs. I think wanted to just make his reasonings part of this hearing, but I didn't let him speak. I apologize.
Mr. Jacobs, do you wish to be heard?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to say, for me and my fiance and our children, we're looking to make this the minimal space possible for us to try and have a forever home, pretty much. And the approval on this would be greatly appreciated.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, Christian, you had no questions. Mr. Ramsden?
I had a quick question for Mr. Evans. When you were describing the work that was proposed on the site, you mentioned ESD treatment. What's ESD treatment?
Environmental site design is what's required as part of the stormwater management code. So with ESD is environmental site design. So we look at the site to find practical ways to treat stormwater management. And the way the MDE manual is written, that they call it ESD, or environmental site design.
Understood. Okay. So in this instance, what are the characteristics of the site that really pertain primarily to ESD treatment?
So the site has steep slope buffer on the waterfront side of the site. And you cannot have any stormwater management devices per se in the 100-foot buffer. So it confines us to outside the 100-foot buffer between the house and the road to design stormwater management. And with this 2-story addition, it allows us to create a device. We don't want to, you're not supposed to have any stormwater management within a certain number of feet from an existing steep slope. We're proposing that entry porch over the small narrow of steep slope in the roadside yard. So we have an existing sewer line that serves the house currently now. So we had a narrow area between the driveway and the northern property line that we were trying to design stormwater management for, to catch as much as we could. We have an existing, right now there is no stormwater management treatment for the site. So we worked that microbiome design that you see on the plan. And we also have mitigation planting plan that's attached to this to add additional mitigation plantings and to plant this microbiome. The driveway comes straight down from Dewey towards the parking pad in front of the house. So we work through environmentally to try and keep it out of the slopes, keep it out of the slope buffer, keep it out of the 100-foot buffer, but capture as much as we could of the impervious areas there. The driveway, by putting that trench drain in, we can catch runoff coming down the driveway, which is impervious, and get it into the microbiome. And we can get some of the roof leaders for the garage and porch there, because it's 2-story buildings, so we can come down and get them over to the device. So that's how we looked at this environmentally. We have existing trees along the property line on either side that we wanted to stay out of the root zones, so we don't damage those trees on the neighbor. Most of those trees that you see are on the neighbors' properties with some bushes. So where we ended up coming up with our best design was between the sanitary sewer and the driveway, and then using modern techniques like trench drains and PVC pipe to get that water to the device to help treat it.
Any other questions, Clinton?
All right.
Sorry, I understand the topography of the site. So from Dewey, the driveway is sloping toward the water, and so the stormwater runoff from Dewey that then goes to the driveway is then proposed to come off the driveway into the bioretention area just planned north of the driveway.
Correct.
Okay. And today there are no ESD treatment characteristics on the site. So this is
Correct.
okay. Okay. Thanks. All questions for me right now. Thank you.
I do have a follow-up, Mr. Gallagher.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Adams, you just I'm going to toss you a softball here, but it's for the record. Can you, referring to your average waterway yard exhibit?
Can I share my screen, sir?
Sure. I mean, it's going to be a verbal request. You're not going to have to cite anything. It's just important that I would like you to, given where this property, how the property relates to the curve on Dewey Drive and where the house sits, and again, 1950s. Can you speak to the uniqueness of this legacy shape and placement as to contributing to the necessity for these for the relief from the code?
Yes, sir. So in this neighborhood, as I'm sure as you've told us that you're familiar with, a lot of these lots, as you come around Dewey Drive, and especially right where we are on the bend, are pie-shaped lots that are long, narrow, that extend to the water. And so the houses, our house and the immediate neighbor at 349, are much closer to the water than the lots further southeast of Dewey at 355, 363, and 367, which are also long, narrow lots, but they're even longer than our lots that create this long waterway yard of 137 on one, 116 on another. That when you do the average where you have to remove the highest and the lowest, it pushes us to that 104 line that you see on the plan, which is already past the house as it's existing. So these long, narrow lots, the variety and the way the average waterway yard is required, it pushes the waterway yard, in this particular case, our house in the 1950s, well beyond the what would be the average waterway yard, creating that unique situation.
Okay, and then question for Ms. Burke, or sorry, Mike Meekins. 349 predates your involvement with the board, but it also had similar conditions that was granted a decade ago or more. I forget when that was, but that structure there, as you can see on this exact waterway exhibit aerial photograph, shows a very similar condition and a similar solution to that condition. Is that correct?
Yes, and unfortunately, I can't speak directly to 349. I did not do a deep dive on that property and the renovation to that house, but it is similar nature as to what the applicant is asking for and their design.
Okay, that's all I have.
And Mike, this is the one where we did get a very helpful letter from the Critical Area Commission that said you'll comply with the law if you comply with the law.
Right. Thank you for your letter of the date.
Right. Very helpful.
Check, that box was checked.
Yeah. All right. So if there are no more questions, we'll close the record and mark the exhibits.
Any public testimony? We heard no comment. Nobody's here to testify online.
No comments, right, Mike?
No comments were received for this, and I'm looking at the attendees list, and it's 0. So
Okay.
I don't know if Josh wants to verify that for you guys.
That's okay. Christian, would you like to lead off?
I'm happy to. The request here is fairly typical of a lot of requests we get in Annapolis. This is a small, single-story, almost unsuitable residence for a growing young family. They're coming forward with a request for the minimum for a livable house. It's not ostentatious or gigantic by any means. They're making every effort to mitigate the damage that they may or may not be doing during the construction. I applaud them. They've been at this for several years, hiring the right consultants, taking the recommendation of staff and the consultants to move the project forward. I think they've met the requirements in order to grant their request.
Mr. Ramsden?
Yeah, in this instance, it seems like if I understood Mr. Evans' description and my review of the site plans, it looks like we're the applicant is proposing to essentially maintain net zero impervious lot coverage, while adding for the first time in the property's history some level of stormwater management, maybe not entirely, but at least partially mitigating stormwater runoff considerations that have been present since the mid 20th century. So it seems like in this instance, it's a case where the applicant's able to accommodate their space requirements, and from an environmental perspective, the site overall site condition improves.
I agree with all of that. I think they've satisfied the requirements of the variance criteria. So is there a motion?
Go ahead, Clint, take a crack at it.
Okay, I have a few different I have an aerial up right now, so let me get to the actual agenda item. Motion to approve variance 2024-00013 as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Jacobs, Mr. Evans.
Thank you
for hearing us, sir.
Appreciate it.
All right. Any other business? Kim Consoli, Kim Burke, Mike, anybody have anything we need to talk about?
No, but not, just keep in mind, we'll have 3 for the first Tuesday in December.
Yeah.
And that's
right.
That's live.
That's live.
Yeah.
2 ADUs and a side yard setback.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And that's not that far away. So if you can get us the materials.
I am hoping to deliver them between Mike and I. You will all get them tomorrow.
Oh, great. Okay.
I mean, they're all, other than the last one, they're all they're straightforward.
Yeah.
It's just an ADU is a special exception in the R2NC. We support stuff like that. It's just the way the code reads.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you all very much. Have a nice Thanksgiving.
No, you too.
Yeah, you too.